Welcome everybody to Forza Motorsport 6, and today we're dealing with a 1952 Fiat 8V Supersonic. Now this was built between 1952 and 1954, and it has the name 8V because Ford at the time had the copyright on the term V8. However, this car wasn't a commercial success, but it did do well in racing, and only 114 8Vs were made. Those Supersonic versions, there was only 8 of them, and they were designed by Gear. And I think you'll admit that this car looks absolutely gorgeous. I certainly think it does. It was considered to have jet age bodywork, which is probably in part where the Supersonic name came from. It's also pretty well nice in the interior aspects. I love the dials, with the way they're rounded and curve round towards each other. Nice set of dials in the middle, and yeah, looks pretty nice inside, even though it's obviously lacking in equipment because it is 1952. Not exactly a 2015 or 16 now, is it? And yeah, rear base is accompanied by its spare wheel. So yeah, I love the way it looks. And like I said, it did well in racing. So it's also got a bit of racing pedigree in it, even though it wasn't a commercial success. And it gets its 8V name, even though it would have been called a V8 originally, from its actual engine, which is a 2-litre V8 engine, producing 115 horsepower and 107 pounds-feet of torque. And because it had such a small V8 engine, it was able to enter into the Italian 2-litre championship. So yeah, despite the fact it is actually a V8, it was able to enter in a small capacity racing league. So yeah, pretty decent engine. Granted, it's not all the power in the world, but it is 1952, not nowadays. So yeah, pretty good, and it's certainly a unique engine inside a unique body. So yeah, it's also got independent suspension all round, front and rear. But it also has drum brakes all around, so yeah, braking isn't the best. But yeah, to see that, we're gonna and other things about it, we're gonna take this car out onto the track and see what it can do. So see you when we get there. Welcome to Virginia International Raceway on Patriot Alternative Circuit. I'm gonna take this car around on the first lap and talk through it on the second lap. So yeah, as you can see, it's not the fastest car in the world, but I really don't care, and I'll get onto that in later. But yeah, acceleration wise, 0 to 60, 12.6 seconds, 0 to 100, 35 seconds, and it'll go on to top speed of 118 mile an hour, which isn't awful by any means, but obviously you've got to look at the time that this car came out. It was 1952, Italy had only come out of the war only 7 years previous, so yeah, the fact that they made such a good looking car in the first place that has a unique engine and is decently fast for the time is pretty good nonetheless. And yeah, that unique engine really does set it apart from other cars of the time. And like I said, it was successful at racing. It was even winning races 5 years after its production ceased, so that just shows how modern it was at the time. But obviously those drum brakes don't do it any favours. Though luckily it also weighs only 2,050 pounds, so it doesn't have all that much weight to stop. It's never really going all that fast anyway to give you any troubles. But yeah, love it nonetheless. Love the interior look, love the outside look. Like I said, it's jetted bodywork, so it's, yeah, it looks really really nice. You could say it's also got fins in a way on the rear, so predecessing the likes of the American cars that had all their wings on the rear end. As you can see, as I turn it round, it looks like if you had a few fins on the top, it would look like an 50s American car. So I say this car's well ahead of its time in terms of how it looks. And yeah, it even sold in 2011 one of these gear versions, for $1.5 million because they're so rare. Gear versions were only 8, like I said, made compared to the 114 that Fiat made themselves. So one of the rarest cars in the world, one of the more unique engines in the world, and a great looking car nonetheless, so I'm glad it's in Forza Motorsport 6. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.